Akku here again. Welcome back to FTB DW20 1.7.10. I've had a spider. Look at that. Ooh, this is what do you reckon? Look like a spider? Wasn't meant to look like a spider. Just I thought it looked like one. With having 8 legs on the top. This this is not connected to anything yet, but this I think is going to be my ME controller setup. What do you reckon? Now, I've tested a few things with this. I've not done this on camera because I've built and rebuilt this about 15 times. I've got it took me ages. I've got Tyrian blocks that are tiles there. I've got factory circuit blocks of gold plating. These are my ME drives. You can see I've got all empty drives in these ones. I've got it turned off at the minute, but I can just turn it on by changing the thing there so it actually lights up. Ooh, fancy, and they all light up. But it's not connected to anything yet, so I don't really want to just be blowing power for no reason. But it's kind of based on the fact that I said I wanted to build it around the beacon. I thought I could try and see if the beacon fits in there, and the beacon actually still puts its light through a tesseract, because if you look at a tesseract, you'll see that it's actually see-through. You can actually see through tesseracts in the middle. It looks like it's liquid ender in there. So I built the controller around that. And I thought I'd kind of go with like a circuit look, and I did all different colours at first, and I didn't like the look of it. And then what I decided to do was, if I go all the same colour, and I have put covers, bent quartz covers in between to separate it, because we've got the covers there, of course, then these are not defined channels because they all join together. But with them being like that, I can then break them up under the ground and send them off to different places. So each one of these is 32 channels. I'm not going to need that many channels. No way. So I think it's going to work all right. So I'll show you underneath. The only way I've got to get underneath at the minute is coming over here. As you can see, look, all I've got is down underneath and then kick them out one. So now I can send each one of these off to where it needs to go and then build it up as it needs to go. So I think that's how I'm going to do it. But like I said, nothing's done with that yet. What I should start with is I don't know if I did this before or after the weld download, but I think I did it before. So it's in the weld download. There's no power going through to this room, so none of these farms are powered, although most of them are turned off anyway. And none of this is powered, although this I'd left on because I was trying to fill the barrel back up for you. So if you've downloaded my weld, there'll be loads of mobs in here, but nothing will be happening because there's no power going to this. There is now, because in my world, because I've just connected it back up. I've also got, I put that there just to I need to build a proper basement. I think I put that there just to get rid of the mobs that was in there. And now what I've done is I've just put a chest there to grab stuff, and I've put a tesseract there just to power it for now until I work out what I'm going to do. All the farms are going to go up into the main, up here somewhere, so that's all going to move anyway. So I don't really want to spend too much time sorting that out. So yeah, that's getting stuff in here. The tesseracts, by the way, where the power's coming from is I branched off of this power line going through here. There's a tesseract up there in the floor. So in that upstairs floor there, which I'm not going to get through because the glass. Yeah. There's just a tesseract in the floor for no reason. That's where the power's coming from for the ME network. I thought I could have wired it up, but I thought it's more of an aesthetic choice to have this tesseracted rather than cabled. There we go. That's what do you reckon? Someone in the comments of the last video asked if I was going to do a super soaring drive. Super soaring drives are awesome, but I think they kind of break what algorithm wanted people to do. So although it's for the end user, it's a better way, but I think it kind of breaks the mod developer's view of it a little bit of what he wanted. So I'm not going to do a super soaring drive, although I may do one in the future because they are really cool. Basically what a super soaring drive does, it uses the storage bus mechanic to create sub channels that have all your storage on, so you can actually have all your storage on 8 channels on one channel, to be honest. But I'm not going to do that. Right, I might do it in the future though. I want a smart cable. I just want to make a couple of things here. Terminal. I'm going to want. Can I make these quickly? Or is it going to take me ages? 3 of them, 6 of them. 6 lemon should do me. No wood in there, son of a bitch. I need to sort wood out, don't I? I'm getting very low on wood. So at least this is pretty much quicker. Excuse me a second. Okay then, I quickly just cleared my throat and made them off camera. I've actually made one too many of them. I just wanted to quickly. I've got a spare. I'm going to have plenty of them terminals around anyway, which of course each take channels. So what I'm going to do is I want 3 terminals on each side of this. I want a crafting terminal. I want a pattern terminal, which we're going to be using for auto crafting, and I want a interface terminal, which we are going to be able to use to see what's going to what interface. So basically, this is going to be where I can craft stuff manually and look into my network. I should probably have normal terminal interface as well. I shall make 3 more, 2 more. I mean, this terminal is where you can create your patterns. In the last applied logistics, it used to be separate. It used to be like a workbench for it, but you create a pattern in there and you can put it into a blank pattern there, and then you can put that into the ME interface or the molecular assembler that you use for auto crafting, and you can also see stuff in there. So that's that terminal. That's a pattern terminal. And this interface terminal, this lets you see all your ME interfaces and other things that are automatically being fed. My voice is going again already, as if. So that's that side. Yeah, I'm going to put another terminal up there, and then I want to do this side as well. So now sometimes, look at that one's telling me how many channels it's using on Whaley, not out of 32. That's not telling me. Weird, isn't it? It seems the ones in the middle aren't telling me anyway. That one's showing 1 of 32 because it's showing the drive. Yeah, so is that, look. So I wonder why the one's in the middle. That's showing 1, even though I've got 4 fingers attached to it. Let me turn this on again. One of 32, so do the terminals not count? Well, yeah, it's showing that. Ah, right, because it's above the thing. There we go, 4 of 32, that makes more sense. So yeah, 4 of 32, 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So as you can see, that's got 4 of 32. You can see one line, can you see a line going up that? Don't think you can, but that's 1 of 32. Anyway, right, I'm getting sidetracked. I'm actually going to do something this episode. As James mentioned on the comments last episode, all I did was talk. I get a bit chatty, don't I? So, crafting terminal in the middle. And I've made this again confusing, because whichever way I come at this from, it's going to look exactly the same. Well, that's kind of what I want. Also in here, so all my drives are going to be in here. I think 12 drives should be enough to capture everything I need. Also in here, I'm going to have my auto crafting. I'm going to have some molecular assemblers down one side of this. Might look a bit cramped. I'm going to have the other thing for crafting. I can't remember the name of, which we'll get to that later. Down the other side. So there we go. That's my ME room. Up here, I have captured a node. Did this off camera. Since right at the start of the series, on my map across here, is it still there? Oh, I've lost all my waypoints, it turns out. Interesting. I wonder what happened. Probably when I was messing around with the whale download. I was trying to make it so that I'm changing the waypoint, the whale spawn, to in front of the base. Down here there was a node that had census in it, and census breaks down into many other nodes, many other aspects. Let's look at the aspects in here really quickly. Where's census then? Census, Spiritus breaks down into Victus and Mortis. Victus and Mortis break down into Aqua Terra. So there's Aqua Terra and air in there, and Mortis breaks down into Pedito, and I think it had Ignis and Ordo in it already. So yeah, it was an Ignis Ordo census node. So I looked at it, I realised that that'll break down into all 6. But you can feed these and make these bigger first, but I decided just to see what it was like, just that single 6 node broken down into an energize. So what you have to do for that, you have to make an advanced node stabilizer. I'm going to cover this in the other series in more depth. Like I say, I'm doing most of my Thaumcraft off camera for this series. I'm covering it more in depth on my other series because that's more magic-y. But basically, you make an advanced node stabilizer, which is a node stabilizer upgraded in the you have to use, that's an infusion crafting recipe, and then you need this thing, a transducer. This needs a redstone signal, and I think that's a really cute way of doing the redstone signal, using a carpenter's wedge thing, because a carpenter's wedge with a redstone block in it still exhibits all the behaviour of a redstone block, and it looks neater than just having a block on top of there, doesn't it? I like that. So what that does, that energises this node. Now instead of having like 85 Terra, this has got a flat recharge rate of 5 Terra, but it's also got a flat recharge rate of all them other aspects as well, which I think is really cool. So that's got all 6 primal aspects in it, and what you do with that is you connect it. These are connected, I think. They're just graphics are glitching out where so it looks like they're not. But there you go. That's connected. So I've got these V relays. And I've got this V charging relay on my workbench here. So now, to recharge my wand, my crafting scepter will just recharge in there because it'll just recharge off that. I do actually need one for my actual normal wand as well. But that's all I've done Thaumcraft. I just wanted to put that node there if you want to play around with them with Thaumcraft in my world. So I've got that. I did that before the world download. I don't think I've done anything else. One thing I am going to do is, in this world, I'm going to make, in this room, I'm going to make a crystallization, Essentia crystallization room, just because they look real funky, using, what that basically does, it turns, is it even called a crystallizer? There it is. Essentially a crystallizer. What that does is it turns liquid Essentia into little crystals, like the old seed ones that you got in 164. So that will be a magic episode. I'm going to do that in this series because I'll be using liquid Essentia in the other series. So I thought I'd do that in this series. That's one thing I did. Now, another thing I did was I've started sorting out some of these rooms. That's where I've called this room my raw material receiving. I've changed the colours in this side as well. I'm going to do it the other side. I've got a question. Most of these are centered, but look, that's the text is centered. Occasionally, I get one. Oh, these are all centered. Son of a bitch. Occasionally, I get one. Let me up there, please. I'm sure this is one. There, look. That one, it's set to the left. Why is that centered? Does anyone know why that's not centered? Blowing my mind. Anyway. I suppose I'll start off here. I want to do some Pneumaticcraft in this episode. I'm going to show you a new machine in the newer version that's going to help us expand our lifts. So I want to come back to that. Little IC2 room there. Buildcraft Silicon Lab. I'm going to fill this with Buildcraft lasers. Not that I've used many of them, but I'm going to make as many lasers as I can fit around that table in that room. And then I've got extra utilities. Ender crafting room. I've probably filled that with the thing as well. I've got my no text card in there. I've got my Tinker's Construct Smeltery up in here, and I've got my Applied Logistics Inscribing room down here, which is set up the same as it was downstairs. So this floor is called the Machinery Workshops. No, it's not. It's called the Mod Workshops. I've changed the name of this. Now this might. What am I doing? Get off. All I'm doing is talking again. Mod Workshops. So I've changed the name of some of the things. So we've got East Laser Drills, Material Processing, Mod Workshops, Monster R&D, which is going to be some monster spawners, Animal R&D, obviously, some animal farms, and then Farming R&D, which is going to be my actual farms up on the top floor. That's how I'm going to do it. So that's that floor. I've done nothing above that floor yet, though. The mob farms and stuff, none of that's been done yet. This room, raw materials receiving. So basically, what I've got here is I'm ender chest from my laser drills on my quarry, and I have 3 conduits coming off it. Green goes straight to the ME network. White is going to go to my smeltery setup, and I have another colour that's going to go to where the block barrels are. I'm going to keep all the block stuff in barrels, so that's going to feed into because these are void barrels and that. So any excess cobble and stuff So I'm going to set up some block barrels. So I'm going to have a block barrel room, which is going to be there, block production room. So that's going to be that one. Liquid and metals production, thermal expansion, like liquid and ender and stuff. Alloying room, not started on that, that's where that's going to be. Now my smelting room and my milling room. So this is all going to get fed into this chest. So I'm going to have one ME interface feeding into this chest. Well, I'm not. I'm going to have an ME interface feeding into the conduit system, feeding into the weight. So the weight channel of the conduit system. So from, let's start down there. God, I'm complicating things. I can go quicker if I fly. Whee! So basically what I've got here is, currently the ME interface is only put out on yellow. And it's bringing in on green. I'm going to have a white output on that as well. So that I can no, I don't need a white output on that, because things are going to go straight to yeah, it don't matter, ignore that. I've put this little terminal on the wall there. It's not a terminal, it's a information panel, just so I can see there. So the AE input is the green channel on the conduit, the sag mill input is the white channel, the smelter's input is the magenta channel, and the reactor's input is a yellow channel. So that's the channels that I've used on the Ender IO conduit system. So in my little room over there, my ME room, I shall have two chests. One is going to feed straight to the smeltery, and one's going to feed straight into the anywhere else that needs it to go. Just so I can drop things straight into the smeltery without having to run up here. So basically, what I'm saying is this will all be set up so I don't have to ever come up here. So yeah, anything that goes into a white channel, so straight from the quarry or the laser drills, or anything that I throw into a chest that's connected to the white quarry or white channel, will come into these sag mills. So it'll come into this chest, get fed out on the orange, and these all feed in off the orange. So there's loads of capacity there. So automated from the quarries and anything that I want to manually throw in there. So say if I wanted to grind up some quartz, for example, I'm going to have a chest in there that I know that goes to the sag mills and then comes back. So I can drop it in a chest. It'll come to the sag mills, it'll get milled, and it'll come back into the chest. And that'll be in that room. So I'm going to have a little place where I can just get stuff. Same with this. So things come out of this on orange, and then on orange they come into this on orange, they come out of magenta, and then magenta comes straight into this, which feeds into all the smelters. So everything that goes into there comes into here. I've got ways of working it out. And that one's turning on. That's going to drain that sulfur into the ME network. I'll just put it there for now. So this is going to work out. I may be making it sound more complicated than it is, but basically everything from the quarries and the laser drills is going to get auto smelted without me having to ever touch it, and it'll just come from here. So you see the output of these is green, so all these go straight into the ME network. Yeah. I'm going to have little filters on that for what I said about the quartz, aren't I? That's all that's going. Right. I love babbling. Let's actually make something. I want to make a new block from the new version of Pneumaticcraft, and it's called something to do with paint. Do I even know what it's called? I do not. I shall find out what it's called. I'll get the bits together for it, and I'll show you what it does. Okay then, it was not called a painting thing at all, it's called a plastic mixer, that's what I want to make. So, and you make it really quite simply with 3 bits of glass, and I think it was 5 bits of compressed iron. There we go, a plastic mixer, wonderful. And I'm guessing I need a security upgrade in this so it doesn't blow up. And I'm guessing it runs off compressed air because it's Pneumaticraft. It's getting a bit messy here, but I'm going to stick it there. Let's bang that on. Look at this here. So, I plastic them at the bottom. It doesn't seem to be running off power. Increase the heat capacity. Oh, use lava. Heat. This requires or produces heat. Heat can be applied by placing a block that generates heat next to this machine. So I put a heat source next to it. Okay, so this I'll sort this out. I'll suss out how this works off camera and show you it. So it doesn't use pressure at all. So I can put that security upgrade back. I can bring it where it's a bit more sensibly and I can see it a bit better. So what I'll do then is I'll sort that out off camera. Basically what I can do with this is now I do not need to have all the different seeds. What I can do is I can get any seed, turn it into plastic, and then I can use this plastic mixer to change this using a dye and hull. I don't get it. That's the temperature, right? I can use this to change any plastic into any colour. So that's nice. So all I need to do is, when I get set back up, is have one colour of plastic. So I'll probably choose rain seeds, get the blue ones made, and using my many dyes that I've got from my Britannia flowers, I can change any plastic to any colour using that. How cool is that? So I'll get that sussed out and I'll show you that at a later date, that in action, once I know what I'm doing with it. While I'm up here, I'm going to upgrade these elevators. Now I've just worked it out quickly that there's 12 elevators on each one, and I've got 6 elevators in total. By 12 elevators, I mean there's 12 elevator blocks there to give me enough height. If you missed the earlier in the series, I know I've got new subscribers who might not have watched all the series from the start. Basically, the amount of height you can get in a Pneumaticcraft elevator is dependent on 2 things. One, it's how many elevator blocks are underneath it. Each block adds an extra 4 blocks of height to the elevator's capacity. And then how many of these elevator frames you've got above it, because they all need to be there as well. So basically what we've got here is the max height of this elevator. Doesn't tell me. That's a lie. It's your work. There we go. Current extension 45, max extension is 48. 48 because I've got 12 elevator bases, and 48 because the frames go slightly higher than the top of the elevator, because I carried them on up a bit. So that's 45, 46, 47, 48. So it could go to 48. It's stopped there because that's where the things asked it to stop. So 12 times 4 is 48. So 48 bases and 48 frames. I want to expand these to multi-block ones. So 9 platforms for each. So that's 12 bases. 12 times 8 is 96. So I need 96 bases for each one. So 6 times 96 is a lot. You get 4 bases per craft. So 96 divided by 4 is 24. No, basically I need 24 elevator bases. No, I don't. I've got all mixed up. I need a fucking lot. is the basic gist of how many I need. I need a damn lot. And as you can see there, I just made 48. I'm going to make another 48. I'm going to show you on camera what I need to actually do to make these. So, first thing you need is, you need to make these guys, pressure gauges. Pressure gauges are gold ingots around a compressed iron. Then you combine your pressure gauge with a tube and 2 levers, gets you a safety tube module. So that's the next thing you need. And I've got another 63 of them somewhere. There we go. And I can actually make another stack. I've got enough gold for another stack of these. Basically I need 8 stacks of gold per elevator. So 40. So it's going to be 48 stacks of gold, I think I'm going to need in total. So once you got to this stage, you would then need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You need lots of stacks. You need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stacks of compressed iron to make your 64 cannon barrels. Then you need another 2 stacks of compressed iron, so the rest can go in there for a minute. And I believe 6 stacks of rain plastic, or blue plastic. That lets you change them into these pneumatic cylinders. That gets you 64 of them. And now 64 of them, you get 4 left over. So It's not doesn't work out quite perfect, and 2 stacks of this plastic one should give me enough. Yeah, in fact 1 stack would have given me enough, wouldn't it? There we go. That gets me another 48, so that gets me half of what I need for an elevator. So I've just done that twice, so that's got me 96. So now I've got enough to upgrade 1 elevator. So it's a lot of resources. So I'm going to plug away at this. I'm going to get all the bases made. I need to also make. Well, let's do 1 elevator at a time. Let's get one of them done. So the other thing I need then is 4, 5, 6. Now, how many of these do I need? It's going to be the same amount, isn't it? It's 96 of these as well. I think it's 96 of these I need as well. Let's go with 96 because I'm always going to be able to use more, aren't I? There. There's 64. I want another 32. So there, with that and that, I should be able to upgrade one of my elevators. I shall go and lay all this stuff down, see if it connects, and cry if it doesn't, I reckon. But I'll do this one first, I reckon. Okay then, there's the bases in, and the first thing I notice is that middle one is showing the security upgrade and the speed upgrade. The outside ones are not, so I don't know if I'm going to need a security upgrade and a 5 speed upgrades for each of these. So that's going to be speed upgrades, and so I have to make the manufacture of. I don't need cakes. I've got a stack of cake. I've got a barrel full of cakes worth of cake in there, but I need to automate the speed potions again. If that's the case, what I can do now is I can move this back one into the wall, and so you connect it to one floor. Because what also I need to do is now with these frames, as you can see, once I put the frame down, it actually the frame sets itself with the multi-block. And to go all the way around, it's very painstaking. I think my builder's wand should be able to do this. So let's. I'm going to give it a try. My builder's wand. Let's have a look. Where are you, builder's wand? There you are. Oh, look at that, lovely. So I'm going to fill this up to the top and move all these back and see if it works. Okay then, I made it to the top, and I actually needed about 4 times as many as them as I made. So I made 96, didn't I? I made another 3 lots of 96, and I've got 16 left over, so that's, you can work that out yourself. So I'm at the top. It looks a lot tidier, doesn't it? You can see, we actually look at these, you can still see the black outline of blocks when you look at them. But it does look a lot tidier. Now I've had a quick go on this, and I've got another issue. So let's just take it to the next floor. Oh, look at this. So yeah, they all need their own speed upgrades. And what's that done to my pressure? It's not dipped it too much. I think I'm going to have to upgrade my pressure as well. But what I need to do now, of course, is now this is why I want it to reset itself back down to the bottom once it's gone up. I'd like it mainly because I can't freaking get in there. That's a bit shit, isn't it? I wonder if they'll work if they're there. I can't get there with one further up, can I? Issue. It is an issue, isn't it? I can't get that lift back down because there's all these bloody things in the way. So that's why I want it. Normally you'd be going up, wouldn't you? But a lot of the time I jump out the window when I go up. So I want it to come down on its own once it's gone up, which is the other thing I need to do. Which I think I'm going to do with a timer behind that and a block update detector. But then I need to make an absolute shit ton of speed upgrades. Okay then, I think I've sussed it. Well, I think I've got it to a point where it's kind of working, and as you can see, I've kind of changed things around a little bit, and I've put a door on there. So a couple of things that I've done is, one, these are carpenter's garage doors. I've got pressure plates on the outside, silent shrouded, but from the inside you've got to click it to open it. I'm not sure if that's going to wind me up as I'm going up and down the floors. I've got one on that floor as well. All I did for the speed potions was I just put a little ghetto set up of the auto brewer here, which is just filling up a barrel for them, and I've been manually taking them downstairs to the ME network. A bit shabby to be honest, but you know, That's what I want. I want it so I can just drop down when I come back, because the lifts are already going up when I want to use them, but coming down, I want to come down. Now I've got a little bit of a problem with this. One thing is I've managed to cover this block, but I can't cover the rest. I don't know what I managed to, I don't know how I did this one. I think I shift clicked with a bit of clay, and I was trying to place a bit of clay next to it, and it covered it, and I can't get to the rest, so I need to work out how to do the rest. But if I come up now, see, it's a little bit jerky now that they're all there, but see, it comes up, and then after 10 seconds we should go back down again, and I'll show you how I did that in just a minute. There we go. 10 seconds, come back down. And of course, if I'd have run out of there, I'd have triggered the pressure plates, which would have shut that door behind me. But I'm not sure how irritating that's going to get, having to shut them all the time. So I may take them doors back out, I don't know. The controls was really straightforward. They are actually pointing me in the right direction how to do this. So I've pretty much done, I think, probably what she has on a Resident Rise. So this is actually this block here. The only issue you've got is you've got things coming in and out of the same block. So what I've done is I've used a Ender IO conduit there, and I've facaded it. I've had to force connect it to this, and I've force connected it to this, you know, just using the wrench. And so when the lift is on this floor, this puts out a redstone signal. This is the elevator collar. It's the back of the elevator collar block. So that's putting out a redstone signal when it's on this floor, which is going into this state cell, which is putting a signal out, which is going into this NOT gate, which isn't putting a signal out, but it's getting a signal in from the elevator collar. That's why you can see that. It looks like it's putting a signal out, but it's not. That's actually coming in from there, from this block, because, like I say, this block's putting out a redstone signal. So when you trigger the elevator, this cuts, which cuts this, and that cuts that enough to set that off. And then this is set to 10 seconds. So once that 10-second timer comes on, this comes back on, which turns it off, which triggers that, and brings it back down. Is that right? It's working. Doesn't sound right. That stays on, which means that stays off. Yeah, that's it, of course. Now after 10 seconds, this goes off. That's better. After 10 seconds, this goes off, which means this NOT gate turns on, which puts the redstone signal back into the elevator block, which brings the elevator back down. I hope that made as much sense to you as it did to me. And I just need to cover that back up. Bam, bam, bam. I've left a little hole behind there that's going to wire me up, so I have to get some bricks and cover that up. So I'll leave that uncovered for now until I do that. There, a little hole. Don't want no holes anywhere where mobs can spawn. So I think I've done it. Now the only other problem I've got is when I went right to the top, I think it ran out of pressure. Let's see how far we get. Yeah, look at that. My elevator, they've run out of pressure. So it's enough to get me to the top, and then after a few seconds it'll come back down. But unfortunately, I can only presume that's a pressure issue, the fact that it can't get all the way up. So I need to look into how to up my pressure without blowing everything up. Now these have all got speed upgrades, but only this middle one's got security upgrade. Yeah, that's it. That's definitely the issue. Look, you can see the pressure's down at 4. Once we put 5. Saying that, if you come up here though, then these are showing 5 still. So the pressure hasn't dropped up here. It's just dropped along the line. Comes back up pretty quick because I've got a couple of speed upgrades in these, but any more, I think I risk blowing them up. Anyway, that's it for this episode. I have talked through my bit of stuff and my spider design. Let me know what you think of the spider. I don't know if it fit. Does it fit with the base? Does it? Should I be doing something else? Does the red look silly? Should I be using a more muted colour, possibly green? And why is that like that? Oh yeah, it's because it's where the thing's connected. I don't like it. I'll bring it down one. There we go, and put that there instead. Suppose I could just have them one in and put some covers behind them to stop them touching these ones. I I'm going to have fun, I think, working out how to be efficient as possible with the channels while doing it properly. That's my plan anyway. So these ME drives are connecting there and there, but it only counts as one connection, which I guess would be right. So that's all good as well. Okay then, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you as always for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode. The elevator one is done. I've got 5 more to do, and I've got to work out my pressure issues. It's a lot of work to do, and it's raining. Merry Christmas everyone, even though when you're watching this it'll be Boxing Day. Cheers, bye. Okay, one little last bit. This seems to be behaving if I just do it like that. So they're actually all connecting there, which I thought would create crosstalk, but if you look at the top 3, there says 2 of 32 on each of them, and then below them it says 1 of 32. So it looks like each one of them is behaving, and it's just taking a channel off the line it's on. So I'm not sure if that's going to cause issues further down the line. If you know more than me, I'm happy for you to let me know. Cheers, bye.